Hey, YouTube Rex, I'm Tim.
I'm Remy.
I'm Nikki.
And this is Drakcast. Wait. So this is Steins Gate, episode 24. It's the final episode of Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Which also, by the way, if you're seeing this up on YouTube, there should be a public poll going on right now. Check that out in the community tab. We'll also link it down below. Take part in the vote if you're interested in that. Aside from that, new shows should be out by now, so check that out. The winner of the previous poll is replaced by Evergarden. And if you have any shows that you think would do well for the channel, recommend it down below. I'll check it out. I might make it on a new poll list. A couple of new shows were added to the polls, and one of them very nearly won. I think MacLeod very nearly won.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, for this final episode, what do you think's going to happen?
Answers.
Yes.
Why is Makise strung up in the end there of the outro?
I really think that's just artistic license.
Dang.
Let's talk about the ending splash screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we're gonna see what his big plan is.
Yes.
And how he's going to save her.
And escape the attractor field.
Yeah, and this kind of ties into something someone was saying. Someone was saying, I love your reactions, but you keep misunderstanding a basic principle. I know you're in the final episode, but I think it's pretty good for like the final thoughts on this show.
Okay.
He's saying, so you can't change things in a small way and expect it to change on a big way because there's like an idea of fate in this show. For instance, things like the lottery ticket, that stuff doesn't matter at all because the big thing was Mayuri will die. Nothing else matters. Like, for instance, him going back in time, changing the information, all the little things, nothing he did would have changed that she has to die. Okay. Just like nothing could change that CERN was going to rule the world in the future. Basically what I think all this is. No expectations?
We are gonna get the basically the how we save Makise while making him also think that Makise is dead as well. So that is also happening.
Deceive the world, basically.
And swap the papers.
And swap the papers. A bit of megalomania. He's just taking everything. Everything is mine. The papers are mine. This Malupa is mine.
It's a rare Metalupa.
It's a rare Malupa.
He said that it's the reason the metal detector went off.
Yes.
So I just have a feeling that it has something to do with our guys. Like in one of their tries in this world line, something like that. I don't know. It's just a wild guess, but just maybe.
I hear you.
One of the Okabes did it.
Well, there's only one way to find out. So, guys, thank you guys very much for being here. Guys, if you like your time, please like, subscribe if you want to see. Subscribe if you want to see more of our content. I don't trick myself out there. But either way, thank you very much for being with us through this entire season. We'll see you in that discussion.
Change the result without changing the past.
Bloody pool. Okay.
How? Daddy? He still doesn't get it.
Why does no one explain anything?
What does it take?
She won't be able to return. No? Okay, so it's a one chance to get it right.
There's a better world to live in, too.
Which we've seen.
Yeah. Oji. That's just something I'm trying to say. She is being honest, like real with the Oji thing. Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, and someone pointed out, yes, you are right. The intro did change.
Yes, I was right. Well, one of us was right.
You were
Somebody.
right. You said it. Yeah.
I think someone was saying like it's been steadily changing over
Oh,
time.
really?
Oh, that's illegal. With all that's going on.
We several times were like,
It looks different.
どこだここら
What
辺
are
に
we
置い
looking
て
for?
あったはずなのだが
早くしてよ。タイムマシンあんまり長い間あそこに置いとくわけにはいかないんだから。
why not?
What are we looking for? A statue?
A bat.
サイリウムセイバーそんなもん何するん
重要なのはこの先端に仕掛けられている血のり
なるほど。それをマキセ・クリスの血に見せるわけだね。
いかにも7月28日の俺が血のりの上で気を失って倒れているクリステ
How are
ィ
we
ー
gonna
ナを
make her
発見
unconscious?
すれば
Smack her over her
確
head?
定した過去は
It is a
変わらない
bat.
それがオペレーションスクルドの意味するところ
確かに理屈は合ってるけれど。
でもなんか単純すぎね15年後のオカリンはもっとでかい秘密がありそうな感じで話していたように思われ
おお隠居魔は 作戦が単純であればあるほど大げさに言う男だ。
Okay.
バカめ、すでに貴様のやり方は
His
全て
schemes.
見抜いている
It's
の
your
だ。
schemes.
安心していいところなのかな。
MacLeod just failed.
オカリン、クリスさんってここに座ってなかった？
Good flashes.
オ
Yeah.
カリンと
She
ダル
remembered?
君といつも一生懸命話してて、
Wow, she has
マユシは
memories.
よくわからないけど、なんか夢中で話してて、
まゆし何言っとるん？
変だよね。もしかしてこの子にもリーディングシュタイナーが？
いや、どこかで覚えてるんだ。別の世界線であったことを。誰でも心のどこかで。クリスはマユリを助けるために全力を尽くしてくれた。
ねえオカリン、
Do you like her?
好き？
クリスティーナは俺の助手であり、大切な仲間であり、そして特別な存在だ。
そっか。
それにあいつが俺に惚れているという自然な
Yeah, not the other way around.
じゃあ絶対助けなきゃ。何があっても絶対助けなきゃ。
Wrong? No?
You still figuring out the dad thing?
アマネ氏、僕の娘っていうのが本当だとすると、僕の嫁は
No telling.
それは秘密にしておく。
またか。
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, it's did last time.
Okay. The last episode.
Yeah.
Everything we do is permanent.
確定した過去を変えずに
Wait,
結果
just
を
pick
変
the
える。
lock. I just got.
そのためにはまずはここだ。因果関係はわからない。だがここで俺がメタルウーパーを出してしまえば、あの封筒に金属が紛れ込む可能性は低くなる。
You got it.
やはり
このシリーズあんまり残ってないのに、マユシは100円玉を切らしちゃっているのです。
甘ったれるなマユリ。お前に今人生の厳しさを教えてやろう。
ウーパだよ。
Not
Not
レアな
metal.
のか？
レアじゃないけどね、すごく可愛いでしょ。
Okay.
よし、次。
すみません。
Chris.
Alright, this is the one where he was freaking
どう
out.
して私の名
Oh,
前
so
を？
he's still
Because
here.
he's still there, yeah.
Chris.
聞いてます。
Wow.
質問に答えてください。
俺は
Oh, that is it?
You're just doing the same exactly the
I felt so disappointed in him.
same. Right?
Wait, what about the papers?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Well, I guess he's... I don't know.
Doing it later? Alright, just gotta knock her out.
Said I will save you.
Or he's just gonna let the plane go down.
自分で自分を演じることになるとはな。
He pretended on purpose.
Ah.
Okay, there's the. Well, she still lost the Upa, but it's a different
マ
one.
ユリの落としたウーパーをクリスが拾っていたのか。
Ah. That's how
So
the
she
dad got
probably
that.
gave
ウ
it
ー
to
パーが
him.
金
Yeah.
属でなくなった以上、中橋の封筒は放っておいても飛行
Oh,
機
is
の
that
事
the
故に焼けるは
plan?
ず。
So we still have to go in there and pretend stab her?
Somehow we have to
あ
get
とは
that
中鉢を追い払い、
in her jacket or
隙を見
something.
てクリスを気絶させれば。
Okay, stun.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, it's a taser. Come on.
It's empty.
血のりが固まってる。
Oh no!
長い間血のり部分は使わずにいたから
What
空
did
気
you
に
check
触れ
it
て
for?
凝視。考えろ。
Think.
考えるんだ。
Spitting it.
考えろ。中鉢を追い払うのは難しいことじゃない。問題は血のりだ。血のりの代わりになるものさえあれば。
Still gotta let her get hit.
そうだ。
He's gonna cut himself.
やめろ。誰だ貴様。
Try to pose.
Pose.
お前の野望を打ち砕くもの。
Just do a cool little Lelouch right here. It's fine.
我が名は。今日だ。
Oh, I got really embarrassed right there.
貴様ら示し合わせて私の会見を台無しにしようとしたんだな。そういうことか。
Got the knife.
Defensive wound.
どうした。
He's like, come on,
そ
come
の
at
ナ
me.
イフは何のために持っているんだ。
なんだと。
ポーズだけか。
Come on.
この神に等しい力を持つ俺に恐れをなしたか。
This guy.
さあどうした。
Talon fraud.
震えているぞ。怖いのか。その程度の男なのか。
Do
実の
something.
娘の有能さを喜べないなど、貴様にはこの俺を殺すことはできない。絶対に絶対にな。
Did he tank it?
You didn't move up your hands?
He taking it in his hand? What did he do?
His hand's at his side. Yeah, he just took
He
it.
took it! Bro.
見ろ。
落ち着け少し
Bro.
Taser, taser.
よくも殺して
Ooh.
殺してやる
Ooh. Everybody's crazy. Everybody's
This
crazy
was the
together.
plan.
This is mass hysteria happening right here.
He's scaring him to leave.
Yeah. He just needed him to leave.
Okay.
動いちゃダメ。横になって。今救急車を呼ぶから。
Back to
Taser real
taser.
quick.
もしもし、救急ですか？すぐ来てほしいんです。
Come on.
俺はお前を助ける
Yo, she went right out. She had no stamina to tank that hit.
Okay, so now he has to get out of here.
Gotta roll her over first.
Well, he's also got to bleed on her.
Just we'll drip on her a little.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
now he's gonna cut his hand.
Or just stick his hand in there.
Oh! Gotta hurry.
Yeah, because the other you be coming over here.
Come on, man.
Oh, wait, that was the second scream we heard.
Oh, so he needed everything to be the same. Oh, what are we gonna do now?
Alright, don't pass out here. Pass out over there.
これは間違いなく俺が見たクリスだ
おじさん。
Oh, she came.
Ooh.
There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
さよなら
Well, I guess we did have a really long back and forth with the father the second time. No. No. Actively
そんなこ
bleeding
と
out.
している場合じゃないよ。
頼む
What do you have to do?
Oh, he wants to see
He wants to
himself
make
see
sure.
it.
頑張れよこれから始まるのは
Oh, this is
人
the
生で
beginning.
一番長く一番大切な3週間だ
Okay, what are we gonna do? Because his body is not gonna change, is it?
もう無茶しすぎだよ。バカにも程がある。
バカとはなんだ計画通りだろ
戻ったらすぐに病院行ってね。きついと思うけど、なんとか耐えてね。
Alright, he's not gonna die.
これは
シュタインズゲートは誰も知らない世界線。でもおじさんの理論が正しければ論文は焼け、タイムマシン開発競争は起きず、第三次世界大戦も起こ
So
らない。
she'll disappear?
No, she
And none of this
shouldn't.
because she's gonna
She
be gone.
technically shouldn't have come here.
Yeah,
先にお礼を言っておくね。
Oh.
she knew this was goodbye if they
あり
won,
がとう。
and they did. Ah,
また会おうね。
7
7年後に。
years.
Chris? Oh, he's at a hospital. Oh my gosh. Oh, it looks way bigger than
Yeah, that's
Shadow.
what I was thinking.
あれ？
人類の未来にタイムマシンに関わる重大な論文が
Oh wow.
燃えてしまったんだ。
They still did a press conference? But they had 3
Oh,
weeks
it's
to know.
because he went to Russia about it.
Yeah, but he had 3 weeks to tell them he didn't have it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this means Christina can remember too.
ラボメンナンバー
Oh, he made
006
She
badges.
made the badges.
僕、いつラボメンに？
その記憶はあるいは前世まで
Wow, he's telling them but not telling them.
なんだろうこの文字。
That's their initial.
さっきまでいたにゃ。何かもらわなかった？そういえば。
ラボメンナンバー007のピンバッジだ助けが欲しい時はそれを握りしめライオーダスタセルナ
Hey.
狼ならさっきまでここにいたのによ。今日からここでバイトすることになった。
Oh, because he said he knows.
Yeah.
Aesthetically.
ナイが転んだところを助けてもらってな。
Oh, that's
ちょうど
actually
仕
what
事もないっ
happened
つう
more
からう
concern,
ちで
isn't
働いてもらうこと
it?
に
Oh,
なっ
she
た。
remembers, doesn't she?
椎名真由です。
But make sure she's a friend.
She's really popular.
なりナンパしやがってよ。
Didn't give her.
Oh, because he gave her the
ラ
laugh.
ボを訪れるといい
Be sane.
ありがとう。
First gift she ever got.
トゥルー。おかえり。
おかえりとオカリンを合体させたん
おお、
これラボ面の証だってさ。ラボ面ナンバー002と003。いつの間にラボ面そんなに増えたん？ 008まであるって言ってたけど。
王はオカリンでしょ。シーナ、橋田、漆原、フェリス、M と K と A って。
さあ、あともう一個
The one is Amane.
箱の中にしまっていったお。
ラボ面ナンバー008は
78
7年後に現れる。
また妄想っすか？
必然だ。ダルのな。
僕の
7年後楽しみだな。どんなラボ面なんだろう。
7年後って想像もできないよ。
でもね、ラボは変わらないと思うよ。何年経ってもずっと。
お前は今ど
Yeah,
こにい
where
るの
is she
だろう。
now?
アメリカの研究機関で論文を書いているだろうか。
Because she would have left by
確か
now.
めたいことがあって、俺と過ごした3週間をお前は覚えていない。お前が今どこかで息をして
just wants her to be
声を出して
alive.
何かを一生懸命考えている。それで十分だ。
やっと会えた。
Ooh.
I
She
finally found
remembered.
あな
you.
たを探していたんです。
Oh, because she saw
助
him
けてくれた。お礼を
get
言いたく
stabbed,
て。
I guess.
Right. Yeah.
俺だ。なぜ彼女がここにいる？何？
The
俺が
organization.
守れたと。
Of course.
やれやれ。勝手なことを言ってくれる。まあいい
Well, she did like this.
Yes.
それが選択だというのなら、エル。
エルプサイ。
また会えたな、クリスティーナ。
いやだから私はクリスティーナでも女子でもないと。あれ？
Yeah, because he never said that before. So what do you mean I'm not your assistant?
ようこそ我が助手マキセ・クリス、いやクリスティーナ。未来のことは誰にもわから
Walking
ない。
around with it.
Oh, he had it ready for her.
だからこそこの再会が意味するように無限の可能性がある
She
んだ。
took it.
これがシュタインズゲートの選択だ。
The end.
Very nice, very nice.
Discussion.
Discussion!
Steins Gate achieved.
Steins get it achieved.
That's not a thing I just said.
We reached this achievement point. That's Steins
That is
Gate.
true. That is
Yes.
true. He followed the plan. He figured it out. He had to improvise.
Yes. And he changed. He figured out. Well, somehow, because I would have been like everything else needs to stay the same, but he figured out he can change inconsequential things as long as he achieves the same result.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is them
The
instead of
Oopa.
getting the metal Oopa,
Yeah.
she gets the plastic Oopa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like also, I was thinking like, why the hell did you not check the liquid before you brought it back to be the replacement for blood? He didn't. You didn't need to bring the whole thing to begin
Yeah.
with. It's a pretty
No.
small thing.
No.
But yeah, things like that where she always had that shape of blood around her because that was kind of destined to happen.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have worked even if you did like bring a bucket of water with red dye or something.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh. And I'm wondering if she called my theory for Amane calling what's his name Oji-san is because Mayuri and him are so close. They're practically like brother and sister. So Mayuri is the one who married Daru.
I kind of had that theory a little while ago, where because when he said when he described the kind of woman he hoped he would marry,
It was Mayuri.
It was basically Mayuri, and also
Yeah,
she's.
actually.
She is the cosplay.
Amane is
yeah.
also has a dainty. Well, all of the women in this anime has a dainty body type, but
Yeah.
short like
Like
Mayuri. So we're setting off and we're doing the thing,
We're doing a thing.
and he did the same thing.
Yeah,
I guess
he acted
did.
the same. I think it's to make sure Makise has the same reaction when she sees him next. It's
Yes.
like, what is it you wanted to say? So that's why she had to have like wait, so that she needed to say like what,
Yes.
but he still got to say his part like I say you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the ending. Anything that you were looking for that didn't get answered, or you got all the answers, you liked everything?
The only thing that I kind of didn't like was that after fixing the world line to be that he does the whole fake the blood dying thing, is that what's her name? Amane disappears afterwards,
Oh.
which has never been a thing But I guess at the same time, we've never seen anybody like what it's like with traveling back and forth.
Yeah,
Like being on the
it's
bridge.
kind of like an extra wrench in the whole middle of the thing because she's coming. It's a little bit mixed up there, so it's kind of hard to
And it's
determine.
like the whole timey-wimey, loopy thing is that if this person never came back in the first place, the changes wouldn't have happened to make the person not have to go back in time.
You know what I think
So
it
they
is?
would go back in time, but they changed it so they no longer go back in time.
I don't think that's it. I don't think it's that she no longer goes back in time. I think he changed world lines.
But we kind of established that traveling back and forth doesn't change the world.
No, I'm not saying the traveling did it. What he did it, but because his going back into it, I think like solidifies, okay, the deed is done. No more changes are going to be made, and now they're basically splitting paths.
Right.
So they're splitting. She's still going back,
Yes.
and then he's going to the new world line.
Yeah.
So it's like they're traveling back, but because they're both traveling to different world lines, that they dissipate.
Yeah.
But he still ended up in the hospital. Like, imagine they're like, why do you have a stab wound? Don't worry about it.
Well, everyone there should still remember though.
Oh, yes, that's true.
But they were kind
So-
of acting like they didn't remember.
Well, no, what is known is that she was saved. So all of that is the same. She still like was laid in the puddle. People found her,
Yeah.
passed out.
Yeah, all that is.
So, and she remembers him. So he goes back to that place with this stab, so which did happen. According to her, she was like, yeah, he did get stabbed. So it makes sense that he would still have the stab. But he was in the hospital for 3 weeks at least, because it was 3 weeks after.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow, that's long.
I mean, not only was it a stab wound, he then jarred
Dug
his
his
finger.
hand in there to make himself scream. Oh my gosh.
But he
That's
did heal
metal,
slowly.
bro. Yeah, his whole soul left his body.
Yeah.
I am curious though to know if other world lines are persistent or if this, because that was the thing, they're not sure if like they'd cease to be or anything. So like does Amane go back to another world line where they failed? No, I guess he goes back to the world line where he just continues trying.
I
But
think
it was-
it does persist because he had to keep everything the way it was so that the message was sent to him to go back and do that thing.
Yeah.
They have to persist. That's one. Number two, Mayuri, we were saying every time they're going back to a past world line, like the others were gonna stop or something, but they couldn't have if Mayuri remembers everything.
Yeah.
So all of that, she maybe doesn't remember her deaths anymore because technically it hasn't happened. I don't know, but maybe she still does have those dreams. But she remembers Makise.
Yeah.
And I think they would remember them when they're in like a mental state to think of it. So she stood there at the chair and Okabe is talking about this big plan to save Makise, so now triggers memories of Makise. That's what happened with Ferris. She's in the place.
Yeah.
Triggers the memory. So it's not like they'll just remember. They'd have to be in a state to remember. And then, what's her name? Makise remembering she's an assistant because she went off saying, "Don't call me Christina, I'm not your assistant." Wait, what? So I think they all exist still. So all of them.
I hate that they don't in my head canon.
Okay.
But yeah, so we had that. We got Moika. She's working at the shop.
Yes. Rescued from whatever she was in. Oh, because she was before she got taken by CERN, she was gonna off herself.
Yeah.
So how did he find her
Well,
if he's not a part of
She
CERN
saves
anymore?
Ney when she falls down. So she was walking by and she
Just
tripped.
at some time, yeah.
Which is, once again, it feeds into our theory of the people who you have contact with. You have to have contact
It's
with.
one of those fate things.
Yeah.
Maintains relations.
Yeah, so he went and gave all his batches out.
Yes.
I'm glad he gave
That's
one to her
cute.
because he didn't seem like he was anywhere near forgiving her
Yeah.
for what she did. But
I think the whole scene where we're out in the desert place with the guy,
yeah,
that kind of, because he held her hand there.
yeah, he did.
So
I guess he saw like how bad it was for her.
Yeah.
That's all she had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Initials are on the badge now where they weren't before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's her name? Myri is like, who's M, K, and A?
Yeah.
Because it's
You'll
what's
know
her name?
eventually.
Yeah, it was Moeka,
Kurisu,
Kurisu,
and Amane. He's like, well, I'll save this one for 7 years later.
later.
It's really cute.
Adorable. I mean, come on, guys. The problem, like, I would almost say, oh, they might figure out that there's some timey-wimey thing. Makise will figure it out eventually. But, like, I figure, like, maybe, but Daru won't, because it took him so long to get to the point that he had a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Daru is just the kind who already blends, reality and
Fantasy,
fiction.
yeah.
So he's just instantly going to be like, I'm just having one of those brain fantasies, like right now, the things that didn't happen. So it's fine. I'll just put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no matter how much of that is true, he's just gonna assume Okabe is just doing a thing.
Yes, he does do that.
Just
like,
part of his
every
game,
time.
whatever. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Wow. But we meet Kurisu.
Yes, I love that. I felt like they were going to let them meet, but part of me was like, I guess they could also end bittersweet, where she's out there, she's alive.
I thought that's what they were gonna do when I first saw it, but then I remembered as we were watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy the way they did it too, where there's like they weren't talking to each other, but they were we know they were talking to each other. It was like, I found you.
Yeah.
She searched and searched. Imagine she's just walking up and down the streets around this area because she's like, he has to have.
I thought it was going to end on that screen where they're passing each other.
Yeah.
I also thought it was going to end on the black screen before, where it black screen,
Yes.
and then we swapped in.
Yes.
In K-dramas, that was like a whole era of things like ending that way, of them passing by each other, and like you'd never get to know whether they actually spoke or not.
Because it's so poetic and it's very tempting to do, but it's not satisfying.
It's cheap.
Yes,
it's very
cheap.
easy to tug on the heartstrings with that, but it's not satisfying at all.
No.
Like I say.
Well, back in the day, it was the new thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as cliche as it has become.
But I've always spat upon it. That's all I'm saying.
Me too. Me too.
Same.
Spittle everywhere.
Just tell me.
Yeah, you have anything written down?
That was all of it.
I went through it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fairly there's not a lot to write down.
No,
about
we were just like, get to the point.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
I feel
But
like and they did the what's her name, Mayuri remembers thing in this episode just to remind us that there is the chance that Kurisu is going to remember over time everything they've been through.
Yes, with dreams.
Yes, she goes into the closet and she's like, what happened? Like just random places in the lab.
Yeah.
Just have one party, everyone will remember.
Yes.
She goes to the bathroom and she looks back behind her.
She's like all of the things all the time.
Okabe comes in on
Deploy the claymore.
All of the things.
It's gonna be great. But also, I'm glad that she looks like she's already starting to remember because he's in love with her, so we can't take too long for her to remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But grades.
Grades. Okay.
I mean, I'll just get mine out of the way because I've pretty open about what I thought about the show from before we even saw the show. I've said before, I saw the show 10 years ago and I forgot most of it, so a lot of this was like rewatching for me until like the very second right before something would happen, I would remember what was about to happen.
Yeah.
But this is to me an S. It's probably one of the first, maybe the first S show I saw. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very unique. There's not another show like this. You get the same vibe kind of with ReZero. I said before, I felt like ReZero improved on the formula a lot, but the characters here are, again, very unique. There's no one else like them, and for that, it's an S.
Yes.
I mean, there's a couple of episodes where it verges on slow. There's a couple of episodes where I felt the characters did things a little bit, not necessarily stupidly, but did frustratingly. They performed frustratingly.
Yeah.
But all that ties into a perfect 24 episode show, I think.
Yes, indeed.
I give it an S as well but it was almost an A+, but then it was minus but for something for an A+, and then it was plus for something to get the S back.
Okay.
So the minus was a lot of little things of like, say, Okabe's very annoying, like cannot talk to anybody, but it in the beginning it felt very plot, but over time you just like you learned that's how he was. Yeah, but I can see that being very frustrating for someone coming into the show, so it's kind of hard in terms of recommending. It's like just bear, you know. But then my reason that gives it back its points is that this is a time
Capsule?
a show about time travel and time in general is so hard to get right.
Yeah.
And
Got it right.
I felt like there were times I'm not sure I'm getting it, but then they let me get it without like tearing it to shreds. Like I feel like if I really nitpicked it and maybe like that doesn't make sense.
Find a couple things.
Yeah, but they did a good job of like sewing that baby up real nice. So I think it gets an S.
What did we say about analogies on this channel? We don't do analogies. Okay? Bad things happen. But I mean, to your credit, I mean, like you're talking about, I completely forgotten that was the main gripe I had with Okabe, with the not telling anyone anything. Things like that, yeah, it's frustrating, but they deal with it eventually.
Yeah.
And I think it also is it's a good example of stuff to build off of, because like, you know, 3-0 immediately puts a gun to his head of why you can't tell other people. So things like that is why I feel like those are things that could have been improved on. But for the time, it was the best of the best. And I think it still holds up.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's really
I
good.
agree.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm actually bouncing between an S and an A+. It's like right on the verge there, where the only reason why I don't think I'm giving it a plus is because I felt like it took a really long time to get to this point, but there was like multiple points for us to get to, and we got to all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just an S. I think it's an S. I think it deserves the S.
Deserves a yes to the S.
And I feel like every single time we ended up at a roadblock, it was a roadblock that made sense.
Yeah, it wasn't plot.
Yeah, it wasn't just other than like his not speaking part.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I think about like psychology, like people are not in the problem solving mood or puzzle solving mood until you tell them here's a puzzle to solve.
Yeah.
And like when you're in a situation, you don't automatically switch to that.
Yeah.
He was very realistic.
Yes.
Or you could understand his character, and it made sense for him to do things he was doing.
Yes. I mean, because we're watching a timey-wimey anime. We know we're watching a timey-wimey anime. We know there's stuff to figure it out, but he's not necessarily in that brain mode.
For him, it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed all of the characters. I enjoyed the slow burn of the relationship between Kurisu and Okabe.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah,
And the
also
sudden spike at the end, because I didn't see it
All
coming.
right.
Yeah.
Let's make out.
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I enjoy the solidified friendship of Ocarine, Mayuri,
Very
and
nice.
I was very happy. I was very happy that there was no like, but I love you too.
Yeah, there wasn't any love triangle.
I was like waiting for it the whole time, and then she was like, you must love her. I'm so happy. And I was like, oh, that's such a relief. I don't know if I could take a sad Mayuri looking at them in the distance as they ride off with the wedding bells on the back of their cars. But I'm so happy that she really cared about Okabe, but she just cared about him as family.
Yeah.
This show, that is probably, to this day, probably the strongest platonic relationship in an anime I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, yes. Very deceiving.
Yes.
And I can see people like nowadays, if this was like a nowadays show, they would have shipped them so fast.
Oh,
yes.
And then they'd be so mad at the end.
Yes.
Like you'd have like half the audience being
Yes.
like, no.
The thing is, I ship a lot of characters in the shows that I watch, but this was the first time I've seen a show where it's like, I do not detect any romance.
Yeah, I kept
But
like,
there is love.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
there's
was the
love
thing.
but no romance. Yeah, because like even the scenes where I didn't believe
with
you
the
hand.
thing?
Yes, I
was like-
saw it and like I didn't believe that it was. I didn't even believe that
Yeah,
it
'cause
was
you
a
said
thing.
that
I was
at
like,
the
"That's-
first."
no, that wasn't anything.
Yeah.
So even later, I was like, wait, maybe there is possibly a thing. So then that's why I was like so surprised that it was like, no, the most important person to me is not Mayuri, who I've been trying to save. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about how you said, I said, sometimes it feels a little bit slow. And it seems like we all can, like, sometimes the slowness. But I was thinking, it's like, it needs one episode less. One. But not any specific episode.
Yeah.
It needs
and
one
just cut
episode's
some
worth of
stuff out.
time removed collectively.
all of them. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Because not a single episode can be removed.
No.
But,
Yeah, because something happened in every single
Everyone,
episode.
yeah.
There was no filler entirely.
But that is it for Steins Gate. For you guys who are wanting us to watch Steins Gate 0, again, that will, if anything, make it onto the next poll, but it's definitely not something that we're just going to go right into as well, because, I mean, I've looked around, it doesn't seem to be a very popular show to react to, so just from a business standpoint, it doesn't make more sense for us to go into it. Also, this is a very complete anime, so it's not like any of us are feeling like we're missing out on anything necessarily, so it's not essential for this show at all. These guys are done. So I mean, sorry if that disappoints any of you, but again, we'll put on the poll like maybe once, maybe twice to see if anyone wants to do it, but I really don't think the want is there at large for even amongst our viewers. But thank you guys very much for being here with us through this show. All the comments were very helpful. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you in the city. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A special thanks to our patrons: Fu Hongzhang, Alharion, Moonstella, Muffinista, Nanji, Langdonal, Jake Thompson, Skellion, Selinger Jr., Tyrone, Deli, Alex Carrillo, Ricky Steldivar, Alexander Dietz, CVBN, Bobby N, Nathan, Rafi, and Jamal Wilson.